Day. Welcome to our first video lecture, I think, for Laravel. So, to start, I'd like to clarify muna na I've been very lenient with you guys. I think I have already, saan nagali? I've already provided you enough time to do your groupings and then provided you also ample time for you to install Laravel. So I hope you did it, and I'm hoping na you are coordinating with your group properly. So I'd like to apologize for my noisy background. I know you can hear my dogs or some of our dogs barking, but I hope you understand. Okay, so to start with this one, so after installing Laravel, what you will do is that we'll try to create our first project, okay, with Laravel. Ibig sabihin, we will try to create a Laravel project using Laravel framework na gyud, okay? So to start with, let's try to activate or enable our SAMP controller by opening our SAMP control panel. So you'll be provided with this interface. So please start your Apache and then your MySQL. So you will know na it's okay and running because these two are in green highlights. So ayan. So just minimize it, and then after that one, so I'd like to introduce muna the concept of the different concepts of Laravel, difference between the Laravel framework and then the regular PHP programming. Now you have undergone with me or maybe from other instructors, para you will be able to differentiate the difference between the two. So I'd like to use a notepad para I'd like to use word processor para we can because we want to talk about the difference between the two. So ayan. So if we will try to compare the two of them, so for example, si Laravel and then si PHP and then si Laravel in terms of creating, di ba? Like what are their common and then what are their differences. So let's try to have muna the middle part, of course, will be their similarities, okay? So in terms of the prerequisites, so si PHP, it needs SAMP to be activated. So yan yung isa sa mga common nila, okay? So SAMP is needed. So SAMP is needed for the both of them. And then another thing na similar sila is they both are dependent on the creation of a local server. Ayan. So for now, yan lang yung similarities na I can what they call this one, I can share with you guys, but don't worry because along the way you will notice what are other similarities that they have, okay? So sa PHP, so in creating yung concept or yung perspective nito is in creating your first project. So I think every one of you here have already tried, man siguro, di ba? Tried creating you've tried creating your first PHP project, di ba? In the previous semesters. So yung difference nila is that si PHP actually you need to go to your SAM folder, and then that's the time you create the project, di ba? Create the project. So ibig sabihin you need to go to htdocs, di ba? Htdocs is very important. So ayan. Now with Laravel, in creating the first project, you can go, di ba? Any directory or file location is okay with Laravel. Like for example, you will not go to, di ba, usually yung ginagawa ni PHP is something like this. Di ba? You need to go to your local disk C, and then you go to your SAMP, and then you go to htdocs. Tapos, dito ka magka-create ng folder. 'Di ba? You will create the folder here. And then you'll say for example, example project or example project, okay? 'Di ba? Tapos dito mo ilalagay lahat ng PHP file mo so that so that PHP or yung si SAMP na local server natin will be able to read it, and then we will try to access it sa browser, 'di ba? So in Laravel, you can actually like not specify na dito mo ilalagay yung project folder mo. You can put it in your desktop, you can put it in your documents, you can even put it in your downloads. Nasa sayo na yan. Now, another common thing that they have is that Laravel projects and PHP projects are needs to be accessed through a web browser via local server. Okay? So yun yung mga similarities and what do you call this one? Differences nila. Another difference is also the creation. So dito, you do it manual, di ba? Do it manually and then you can use your mouse and keyboard in creating the folders and then the directories. Si Laravel is that you will use command line interface. Command line interface. Anong ibig kong sabihin? This one is an example of a command line interface. Ito si command prompt. So si command prompt, ito yung gagamitin natin whenever we would want to create a project with Laravel. Okay? So for this example, si command prompt is nasa Nepalirowa the third na directory. Okay. Another thing is that kung si PHP wala siyang templates and framework on the PHP files that you will be creating. Si Laravel meron na siyang mga templates. Okay? So yan yung another difference. So if you will try to weigh it in, medyo mas advantage si Laravel. Yung ano lang niya, yung cons lang niya lang is that it has a complicated structure na if you will not do it you will not learn from it from the basic is mahihirapan kang mag-adapt. Okay? Especially if you are used to in using PHP yung sa manual. Now, let's now start creating our first Laravel project. And of course, we will try to do it or create our first Laravel project in the desktop na directory or na folder. So, just like what I mentioned a while ago, you need to use the command line interface or command prompt whenever you would want to create a project in Laravel. Okay? So another thing also is that you can check whether another thing that you can do to check whether you have installed Laravel successfully in your desktop or in your computer is to use command line. O ito, I will just type Laravel and then it will provide me with some info. Okay. So accordingly, I have here in my computer Laravel 4.2.10. Okay, I think this one is the latest version. If I would want to update it, I'll just need to update this one. Okay, now, since we are talking about command line interface, this one only uses your keyboard and then you need to remember your topics or your lessons in batch programming. Okay, yung pagmamanipulate ng mga directories using command line interface na walang gamit yung mouse. So for this example, I will go to the desktop folder. So to do that one, you will use change directory, diba? Or cd dot or cd and then you specify the location of the directory. So for this one, since I don't know if under this directory is nandyan na ba si desktop, so I will try to type dir. dir is a command in batch programming or command line programming that will help you or will provide you with a list of directories under this folder. Yan. So ito yung mga files and then folders na nandito na under this directory. Okay, so under the directory of C users Nepalirowa the third, ito yung mga folders na you can access. So in this directory, nakita ko na si desktop. Okay, so I will just type cd and then desktop. Ayan, di ba? So since I am already in cd desktop, what I will do is that I will create here our first Laravel project. So I'll just name it as SIA2. So what you will do is that you will just type Laravel new and then the name of the project, which is SIA2. Okay, and then another thing to remember is that if you will try to use this one, kinakailangan mo ng internet because it will try to download the resources from their online database. So I'm using Laravel new. This is a command in Laravel that tells your local machine to create a folder with the following components. Okay, so it will take time, and then it will be dependent on the speed of your internet and of course your computer. Okay, so if there will be some what they call this one, if there will be some errors along the way, you just go to the documentation na they provide in their website. There is already an existing help desk and then support. Pero pag hindi mo siya maintindihan, you can just send me a message. Okay? So, ayan. If you notice, marami siyang dapat na i-install. And then, if you notice also in my screen here, I did not create SIA2, but then they already created this one. Okay? So, we will just wait on it, and then they will inform you na okay na siya if it's already, or there is a message na successfully created na siya. Okay, let's try to see, or let's try to wait. Okay, so this one will not take up your time too much, but then again, it's dependent on your internet speed. So ayan, everything, I think it's already, malapit na siya. Ayan, application ready, and then build something amazing. So let's now try to check if na-create na ba talaga nila. Pero from this perspective, we have already confirmed na nanagid siya. Okay? So just to make it sure, type again dir. And then if you notice, ayan, SIA2 is already in the list. So I'll just go cd SIA2, ayan. And then I'm already inside the folder. So another comparison with PHP and Laravel is that kung si PHP, you just need to turn on the local server ito, and then I will just type localhost on my, diba, localhost / the project name, diba? Si Laravel is iba siya. You will need to activate first the Artisan serve, and then tsaka mo siya ma-access. And then you will not use this one, the localhost / project na address, but rather you'll be provided with a port. Okay, so to activate the port, and then you can open the Laravel. Okay, what you will do is just type php artisan serve. Okay, if you notice, ayan o, starting Laravel development server. So meron siyang ibibigay sa inyo na server address. So just copy this one, Control C, and then paste it in your browser. Ayan. So ayan, eto na siya. So this one is your first Laravel project. So congratulations, you've made it this far. You've created your first Laravel project. And then if you will try to go to our desktop, okay, minimize muna natin na. If you notice, sila na yung gumawa ng what they call this one. Sila na yung gumawa ng folder. At the same time, sila na rin naglagay ng initial template, 'di ba? Initial index file mo. So if you will open this one, ayan, marami siyang ibibigay na files. You have files for your application, for your bootstrap, for configuration, for database, for the language, for the public, and then for the resources. Ito medyo ano siya. Ito yung mas one of the important folders also. Okay? You also have view routes, storages, and then test, and then vendor. So ayan, marami siyang file na what do you call this one? Marami na siyang file na na-create, and then this one is access to this port, and then ito yung lalabas. Okay? So if you have questions, just comment it down below or send me a message, because for your first activity, I will let you create your first Laravel project. Okay? So another concern I'd like to address lang ha. Kasi yung iba, ito yung common kasi we don't have the same. You might be wondering, sir, dili man ta same og kaning directory. So don't worry, because this one is dependent on the name of your computer. So for example, you will open your You will open your CMD. Okay. So if you are not yet in the desktop, just type dir and then check if nandyan na ba si desktop. Pero pag wala pa si desktop, you can go back to the parent root or yung previous niya. So cd dot dot yung itatype mo. Okay? Pansin mo si cd dot dot, 'di ba? Nawala si Nepali row with the third tapos pumunta siya sa users. If you will type dir, ayan. So just review lang your lessons in command line interfacing, okay? Or batch programming. So if you have questions, please send me a message and then I'll try to answer all of it, okay? Thank you so much.